Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
Well, a very pleasant good evening to you guys. Welcome in to Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. Our show brought to you by All Ply Roofing. My name is Caleb Hart. He is Ben Iman. Ben, we get the first of 2 nights here of Summer Showdown. Night number 1 here Sunday, and then the Super Late Model Showdown coming up next Sunday night. So 2 weeks of Summer Showdown coming up. The Pro Late Model 100 is going to cap us off tonight. We got a great night of action heading up into it.
Yeah, we're going to get the Super Lates out there for some positioning races. Then we talk about the Summer Shootout 100, a variety of supporting classes, jam-packed show, lots of great racing action coming up.
Street Stocks and Legends also on the card for you guys, but it is Late Model Palooza basically this weekend, our biggest 2 late model shows of the year coming up the next 2 weeks here on Home Track Heroes. We hope you guys can kick back, relax, and enjoy with us because we have got some star-studded fields. It is going to be absolutely fantastic to follow the storylines, to follow the stars and cars of who all came out and what all is going to happen. So let's start it off. Super Late Model Heat Race number 1. These are 20-lap heat races, and the top 4 finishers in each of these 2 heats that are coming up here are going to end up in a top 8 redraw for next Sunday's 200-lapper.
That's right. So you want to get out early. They're only 20 laps. You're not going to want to sit around a lot. So you're going to want to jump out and see what we can do. Let's walk you through the lineup. Out front, the 7-car all the way from Kannapolis, North Carolina, is Tristan McKee. Team Chevy aboard him. He'll start alongside the P1 teammate, the 08 car of Jace Hansen. He's from Greeley, Colorado. Salted Metals sponsors Hansen.
Second row, Casey Klein. That's the 1 car from Quincy, Washington. Damerick Farm sponsor on that. And it's Cole Raz in the 27, Lake Oswego, Oregon, in one of the Jefferson Racing entries. The row behind them, Michael Atwell is the 14 out of Naples, Florida, sponsored by Davidson Electric. And to his outside, Garrett Archer out of Maple Valley. He is sponsored by Archer Construction, the 5 car.
The 89 machine is Donnie Wannett from Orem Beach, Florida. Brock Reynolds. Oh, nope, excuse me. That's
Orem Beach, Florida. You got it.
Florida. I did get it. All right, we're good. Sorry, we'll stay in it. 7D, Dawson Cox out of Arlington, Dry Crawls LLC aboard him. The 25 machine is Randy Marshall Jr. out of Notches, Washington, RM Mechanical. He'll start alongside against the 3L, Logan Cole of Chehalis, CNC Development aboard him.
Final 2 rows, Terry Halverson out of Wenatchee. Been watching him since I was a little kid race. He's sponsored by Halverson Auto Body Inc. To the outside, Nick Beecher in the 45 out of Marysville, sponsored by the Kendall Auto Group. Final row, Brandon Brock out of Stanwood. Meyer Metal sponsors the 94. And Max Schroeder out of Tacoma in the Z93 Media number 17. As we go green, 20 laps here in Super Late Model Heat Race number 1.
Yeah, great jump for the 7 machine of Tristan McKee. He's going to jump out to the lead here. Casey Klein was looking down the inside of the 08 of Hansen, not able to make that move stick. Now here will come Cole Raz, the outside. Ooh, little contact between the 1 and the 27 car early here into turn 3.
And again, 4 is the magic number on this one. You got to stick up in that top 4 if you want a shot to start somewhere in the top 8 for next Sunday's 200 lapper. The Peltier cars, the P1 cars, getting out again with all the experience and that money that has been won and races that have been won, specifically at Summer Showdown for Preston Peltier. You'd figure his 2 would be off to a good start, but that battle for 3rd is wicked.
Yeah, Garrett Archer got a little sideways there at the 5 car, gets it settled back in. He's in that 5th and odd man out spot, but if Casey Klein can make this move work, or Cole Ratz and Claremont on the outside, I'm sure he'd love to be able to follow through. Right now, side by side, Klein gets the nose ahead here now, really starting to push Raz to the outside. We'll see where the 27 goes.
Casey Klein nosing ahead. Raz going to fall in, and he will duck behind him here. So 1 through 4 now in a straight arrow run. McKee, Hansen, Klein, and Raz holding the spots that'll make the redraw, and everybody else coming after him.
Yeah, we're going to see him watching maybe Max Schroeder in the 17 start to come from the back. Couple drive, he had to give up some position here. He's coming from the back this race. He made an adjustment before he came out after qualifying, so that's why Max Schroeder coming from the back. That 17 car, definitely a car to watch your eyes. We have only 17 laps to go.
Yeah, going to hurt him for a race like this, in a heat race where you've just got that short little sprint, and because you have to run these same tires on the 200 lapper, you're going to start out with these tires. 20 extra laps on them, you really don't want to be put in a position where you've got to abuse them or race them too hard in a heat race just to make up some spots that may not even get you to the top 4 anyways.
Exactly. You might just be better off just riding around, picking up a few spots where you can, and just saving yourself for the, for the big one. You don't want to no point in burning your stuff up here.
Right. If you're Archer, one spot on the outside looking in, slightly different equation.
Absolutely.
Because that could be the difference between starting behind the top 8 or maybe starting first, depending on how the redraw goes. So I imagine you're going to see Archer given a pretty good scramble here to see what he can do with Raz.
Yeah, for sure. You can see this big gap that the 7 car, Tristan McKee, has already opened up to his teammate of Chase Hansen. Tristan, our fast time qualifier, based off, that's why he got to start up front in this heat race. So Tristan McKee, definitely a car to watch out for, the young teenager in that car. A lot of great funding behind him, and now driving a Peltier car. Definitely a driver to watch all weekend long.
Yeah, Preston was on point coming for this weekend. He has won this race so many times as a driver, and now as the fabricator and the guy behind P1, definitely looking to put a different kind of accolade to his name. Be a big one to do it as the fabricator and team owner. Yeah,
for sure. You know, to be able to say that he's won this race as a driver and as a team owner, car builder, definitely stakes the claim and gives some serious validity to those P1 chassis. You know, we know they're quality built cars, and you've seen drivers win with them elsewhere, but to be able to come and stamp your flag on the Summer Showdown, obviously it's a big race and a big win if they can come home with it.
Klein has gotten away from the 27 of Raz a little bit. Raz in one of the Jefferson Racing cars, we know how good that operation is. They're going to be a threat come next Sunday's show for sure, but right now he's got to hold on to that 4th place spot here in the heat race, else who knows where he ends up starting for Saturday night.
Yeah, you got to hang on to 4th. You can't fall too far. So we're watching here McKee go down the back straightaway, just looking calm, cool, and collected, staying planted to the low line right now. Just keeping the shortest way around this oval. Maybe still, you know, you got plenty of enough gap back to your teammate, and you know, got some cushion till you're outside of that top 4. We'll see maybe Tristan McKee back it down a little bit, and maybe just try to save up some on that 7.
This is the halfway mark here of heat race number 1 for the super late models. Halfway for McKee, Hansen, Klein, and Raz. And Klein has caught the back of Jace Hansen in the 08. A couple of car lengths separating them as Casey Klein trying to move forward, get himself a little more breathing room before the guys coming after him behind.
Yeah, Casey Klein's a driver that we've seen has won many of these big races around the Northwest, but this race is one of the ones that has eluded him, Caleb. I'm sure he would love to walk away the Summer Showdown winner after this weekend in that 1 car, and definitely one of the favorites coming into the weekend.
Still a relatively young man, too, is Casey Klein. Like, he feels like he's been around forever, but still very young to his racing career, specifically in late models, and has a lot of laps yet to turn before all of the chapters of his book have been written. There is Raz, and Cole Raz. We have seen him here at Evergreen Speedway. What a competitor he is.
Yeah, Cole Raz, you know, he's a winner of the Summer Showdown. He's a winner of the Mark Galloway Shootout. The driver from Lake Oswego, Oregon. Some fans might have seen him go ARCA racing this year in the 76 machine for AM Racing, but this weekend he's here. He's with the family team, the Jefferson Racing crew, and he's looking to take that 27 to victory lane as McKee's going to put Brandon Brock a lap down.
So Brock will go down to McKee, and you talked about him backing it down. Sure didn't look like it. He is putting some really good laps out there, and who knows, maybe even treating this as a test session to some regard.
Yeah, you know, we're going to have to see 20 laps, see what those tires do. You know, the talk of the weekend, of course, with the 5/8 oval here at Evergreen Speedway is always going to be tires. And I'm sure these drivers are going to use this session. They're going to pull back in and be like, okay, what did we like, what did we didn't like, and what can we gain more over a short run of 20 laps?
Cole Raz in the 27, right up on the back of Klein in the 1 car. Less than a car length separates them, and Raz wants to get off that final transfer position. Now he's got rear view mirrors, he's got spotters. He knows how far back Garrett Archer is right now, but at the same time, don't put yourself in a position to get past on that last lap by any means.
No, absolutely. Now we're looking, this is Dawson Cox, Donnie Wannett, and Max Schroeder. Schroeder's moved up already a handful of spots. Started at the back. Now he's looking to pick up another pair of cars. These are still outside of those redraw positions, but hey, every spot matters when it comes to the starting order for the big one.
So Schroeder trying to run his way further up this field, as that is going to be 7th, 8th, and 9th currently as we're looking at it on the screen.
Good run there for Schroeder, and off of turn 4. 3 more times to go for Tristan McKee. And it's been a calm, comfortable drive for him. He got to the lead, he started up front, and really was not challenged, maybe only for a moment there by Hansen off the start. And for now, these are just good logging laps for McKee, who's never turned a lap at this track before this weekend.
Interestingly enough as well, you don't see a lot of late model formats that have heat races on them. So these drivers not really used to doing a 20-lap little burst like this. It is out of character for them, you know, unless they moonlight running street stocks, figure eights in Dawson Cox's case, etc. But yeah, different to run a heat race in a late model.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the drivers don't typically normally run heat races. They do on the main late model nights with the Speedway Chevrolet Pro late models. They usually run a happy 10-minute session, but that's up to each drivers. You know, use it for 2 laps, use it for none as the white flag flies for McKee. Hansen, I got to know here, Caleb, has closed up to McKee in these dying laps.
Yes, it has gotten closer up in the front of the field as they'll roll down the back straightaway for the final time. And we will know half of your starting 8 for next Sunday's show. And in some form and fashion, it'll be Tristan McKee, Chase Hansen, Casey Klein, and Cole Raz. Everybody else on the outside looking in. And that'll do it for Super Late Model Heat Race number 1.
Yeah, that was definitely set the tempo 20 laps for us, Caleb. We'll have to see what the next 20 are going to look at, whereas we're going to roll out. You can see here's McKee, Hansen, all of them pulling their way back through the access road into the infield pit. Something you fans of Evergreen Speedway, I guess, don't get to see all that often.
No, that they go into tech, though, right away.
Absolutely.
So into the tech line, they're going to run after that first heat race. So we'll let the tech guys do their job, and we will get you set up for Super Late Model Heat Race number 2. Same idea, 20 laps, top 4 finishers are going to go into the top 8 redraw for next Sunday's show. Home Track Heroes again next Sunday night will feature the Summer Showdown 200 lapper for the Super Late Models. This one, it's another 12-car heat race, and it looks like it's Buddy Shepard up on the pole of this one. We saw Buddy out for the Pro Late Model Cars Tour here at the Galloway. Shepard in the 22 from Bakersfield, Dobie Hager Trucking. The 10 of Owen Riddle out of Natchez, Don Riddle Excavating. 55, Hayden Plybon out of Spokane, the Race Gal sponsored car. And the 9 is Ethan Ebert from Tucson, Arizona, running one of the Jefferson Racing entries.
The 5 machine is Jan Evans out of East Wenatchee with Lester Brothers sponsoring Jan. He'll start alongside the 11 of Jovan Dillon. He's out of Meridian, Idaho. Dillon Toyota Lift sponsors the 11. The 00 Hero, Nemo Lang, looking a little bit different in the black and red today out of Linwood. J&R Trucking powers Lang. And the 69 machine, well, that's Xander Peters out of Spanaway. DRS Trucking powers Peters.
And the final 2 rows, Ryan Phipps, 5Ps from Burley, Idaho, Western Mountain Inc. 93 is Dave Garber. He's from Spokane, sponsored by Fitz Motorsports. Back row, Christopher Kolsch, the 33 out of Hillsboro, Oregon. Kolsch Machine is on the car. And Ken Bonney in the 3K. He's from Hermiston, Oregon. Bonnie's TYM Tractors for your 12 cars. They're going to go 20 times around. So Shepard's been here just about a month ago or so. Riddle, Plybon, and Ebert will start in the 4 transfer positions. And boy, they're setting a rapid pace.
Yeah, they're really hauling down towards turn 3.
Don Fairley pulled the Speedway Chevrolet pace car off the track. Do you know he believes that Barry Bonds didn't take steroids?
Really?
I can't confirm. As they come out of the corner, it is a very fast pace to the green flag as we're up and running here in heat race number 2.
Oh, Shepard and Riddle getting real close door to door as they come into turn 1. Riddle, that's the other P1 car there. Looks like a little lag job, or a little backup here as we'll settle in. There's Shepard, Riddle, Plybon, and Ebert. 1, 2, 3, 4. Talk
about a guy that's won everything in the Northwest and coming in with a really good ride. The 10 of Owen Riddle gets squirrely off the corner, gathered it back together, and will hold second place for now.
Yeah, good save there for Riddle. Shepard's going to set this tempo and get out early. Plybon and Ebert, 2 drivers. Hayden Plybon now the 2-time Mark Galloway shootout winner and defending winner coming into the weekend. We'll see the 55. Sure, we'll think they're fast and feeling good. And Ethan Ebert does a lot of off-road racing. Baja 1000 driver and now taken to late models.
Has taken really well to late models as well, as I know some of the guys in the crew for that 9 car, and they remark what a natural that kid is behind the wheel. You give him a lawnmower with a wing on it, you probably figure out how to make it fast here around Evergreen Speedway.
Yeah, it's interesting. It'll be exciting to watch what Ebert can do this weekend. His first laps here at the Super Speedway of the West. Not Buddy Shepard's first laps here, and he's maybe using that Mark Galloway shootout race as to some advantage here. Getting obviously little tweaks to the car, pro versus super late, different tire compound, but you know, seat time is seat time, laps are laps, and I'm sure Shepard right now towing Riddle and Plybon is feeling pretty happy that he went and ran the 150 laps about a month ago.
And they were good laps for him too, as that was a top 5 car over most of the contest in the 22. Shepard currently small advantage over Riddle, and just like that, 1/5 of the race done. Those 4 laps went awfully quick.
Yeah, it is a true sprint. We're putting sprint in sprint race.
There we go. I like it. We will finish off this first super late model heat race, but we're going to do it after we take a quick timeout. You guys are watching night number 1 of the Summer Showdown, and we have got the rest of this heat race coming up next on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. We're back here on Home Track Heroes as you're watching Super Late Model Heat Race number 2. This is for positioning on next Sunday night's Summer Showdown. Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11, brought to you by All Ply Roofing. He's Ben Iman, I'm Caleb Hart, and you missed nothing while you were away, Ben, other than the 22 car looking really good at the front of the field.
Yeah, Buddy Shepard, cool as a cucumber. The Bakersfield driver is right now looking in the rear view and seeing a lot of Owen Riddle, but that's probably a comfortable gap for where the 22's at right now. And even if Riddle were to go around the outside or duck underneath him, I'm not sure Buddy Shepard would contest it all that much with, him only having to be within inside these top 4. Now, if you're Ethan Ebert, you're on the gas.
If you're Ethan Ebert, you also know that you've got half a straightaway back to the next group of cars. Is that top 4 is on quite the breakaway right now over the rest of the field. Jan Evans really not making huge ground on Ebert at the moment.
No, and Jovan Dillon also hanging right with Jan Evans. Those 2 cars are kind of running their own pack right now, but it's these top 4, and they're, I'm sure, just kind of enjoying being away and being in the fresh air.
You are too young to remember this, but if days have passed, you were talking about Evans and Dillon doing battle, it would be Garrett Evans and John Dillon. So
I am too young to remember that, but I have heard many a story.
It is full circle for me watching those two battle going into turn number 1 in Jan Evans and Jovan Dillon, and Jovan looking to the inside on Jan. Jan pushes a bit wide coming out of 2, and Dillon stuffing the nose, the red 11, down on the bottom as we got a battle for 5th.
Got to admit, Jan strapped on the gold tire, the gold wheels for the tires, and I like them a lot. They really shine as the car runs down here.
Good look out of Jan's car, skewing the familiar Evans blue for the week, although it's still on the bar that you can see underneath the frame, as Dillon will make the pass, going through 1 and 2 at the halfway point now. Jovan Dillon has got to take a chance to see if he can run down Ethan Ebert at the front of the field.
Yeah, this is what I'm going to say. If you're Jovan Dillon, how much are you willing to really step on the gas and close up what is a fairly sizable gap here, I think, to Ethan Ebert?
Worth it, right? It could be the difference between where he's starting now and the lead for the main event. So we'll find out how hard he wants to push. Meanwhile, Buddy Shepard has pushed every correct button so far. He maintains the lead over Owen Riddle out in front of the field.
Yeah, and you can see these 2 cars have even pulled away from Plybon and from Ebert in 4th. So maybe a Shepard-Riddle battle Sunday night for, what'll be the ultimate race for 30 grand, maybe?
30,000 American dollars.
Oh, I'm glad they're American dollars and not something else.
I would make a joke, but our friends in Canada are important, and I like them.
Fair enough.
Down the front straightaway they go as clip off another lap. Shepard looking really good. More than that, looking really good. Very consistent. That car has run about the same line every time. Well, you want to talk about consistent. These guys right here, Tire Pros, our track sponsor here at Evergreen Speedway, the official tire dealer of Evergreen Speedway. Tire Pros, your one-stop tire retailer where honesty is the best policy and they have a hassle-free guarantee. Tire Pros has all the national brands and offers a nationwide warranty on your tires. You go to TirePros.com, TirePros.com. Tire Pros, both the sponsor of our Street Stocks and the Summer Showdown.
Absolutely. We could not make this weekend happen without our friends at Tire Pros. We know we have a lot of friends from Tire Pros in the house today, and I don't know if you've been to a race at Evergreen Speedway, well, you know that the Tire Pros t-shirt cannon is quite popular.
Someday, if they really, really wanted to make us the happiest, they figured out how to stuff a taco in there.
Oh, well, we were talking burgers coming into the weekend. Maybe we could try a burger or 2 or something.
Ryan at Tire Pros does make a good burger. I have had his barbecue before. That is the thing. As we watch this heat race, laps ticking away, 4 to go. Shepard and Riddle continue to stretch their advantage over Plybon and Ebert, and even further behind them, I have not seen Evans or Dillon make any massive ground on catching back up to him.
Yeah, I think 3 to go. These drivers are just going to settle in, save those tires up. You're going to need them for 100 laps for the next big feature, and, just be comfortable with where you're at. I'm sure all these drivers are going to tell you, well, we're going to tweak this, we're going to try this, because perfection is always elusive, I feel like, in this sport, but I'm sure these top 4 are still somewhat confident going into the next one.
Well, if you're not learning every time you're in the race car, you're doing something wrong. And I can tell you right now, every single one of these drivers will come back with at least a small amount of information to give their crew chiefs or to disseminate, as some of these drivers are making the setup calls on their own.
Yeah, some teams bring 6, 7, 8 people to come help them crew, and some of them it's like 3 of them. Some of these teams are really scrapping it to be here, but we cannot express how much we appreciate and love seeing every single one of these cars and drivers make their way for the Summer Showdown.
So top 4 are still pretty isolated amongst themselves. Shepard, Riddle, Plybon, and Ebert. Ebert did cede some ground to the 5th and 6th place cars, but not enough to put this under any kind of scary for him. As coming to it, Buddy Shepard take the win over Owen Riddle and Hayden Plybon and Ethan Ebert. Like I said, that became a longer run back. I thought I had seen Dylan closer into the picture there a couple of laps ago, but not enough to threaten. And boy, over those last few laps, Ebert stretched.
Yeah, Ebert really started to get the legs open. Buddy Shepard leads flag to flag, Caleb, and I'm sure the 22 machine is quite happy he made the haul back from California to come run this one.
So what's going to happen is those 4 drivers are going to draw pills at random to start somewhere in the top 8 on next Sunday night's 200-lap A main event. You can catch that all right here on Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. So that'll be coming up next Sunday night is the Super Late Model 200. Tonight we still have the Pro Late Model 100 lapper that is coming up to finish our program off. But got more to get to before we get there. It is Tire Pro Street Stocks time here on the show.
Yeah, that's right. Before we get with the rest of the show, we got to thank again our friends at Tire Pros, and let's introduce you to the Tire Pro Street Stocks getting rolled off and set for their main event here. They are led out today by the 18J of Jackson Beckel out of Lake Stevens. Tire Pros of Arlington sponsoring Beckel. He'll start alongside his ARC Racing teammate, the 69 of Austin Camp out of Monroe. Phillips Law Firm sponsors Camp. A member of Racing Royalties on row 2, the 39, Stuart Harding is out of British Columbia. Harding Forklift Services powers him. And the 89, Marty Sokolsky returns out of Woodville, sponsored by Matthews Lumber.
Row number 3 is the 3 car. Inside row 3 at all, it's a bunch of 3s there for Andy Soul. The Honey Badger out of Santan Valley, Arizona, sponsored by Tire Pros. To his outside, Steve Potasic, the 06 out of Kirkland, sponsored by Lang Automotive. Second row behind them, 4th row overall, Jim Fody in the 85 out of Edmonds. He is sponsored by Trademark RCS. And starting 8th, the 22 of Kenny Erickson. He's from Tulalip, and he is sponsored by Central Welding.
And our last row is the 8 machine, Jerry Helm. He's all the way from Woodby Island. Leffler Tree Service sponsors Helm. They'll start next to the 42 of Putting the Street in Street Stock, Tony Deegan's out of Bothell. IHOP in Monroe, open all 24 hours, is sponsoring Deegan. Well, the Tire Pro Street Stocks have been quite the show this year. Lots of hard racing, and sometimes it has spilled over a little bit with these drivers getting a little too close, and has cost some of them maybe some points positions that they'd want. But the cars talk about the 06 of Potasic, the 3 car of Soul, that row number 3, definitely the 2 fastest cars in the field.
4 different feature winners in the field here in this one between Beckel, Harding, Soul, and Potasic just in this season alone. As they'll come off the corner, beautiful overhead shot in the drone from David Nelson and Elevate Media, and we are underway with the Street Stock 30-lap A main event.
Yeah, still chasing that first win of the year. It's the 69 Austin Camp, and he's going to get to the lead on the outside around his teammate of Jackson Beckel. The 89 Sokolsky's going to pop up to the outside, and Potasic's going to quickly look to follow him through. 1 lap down, 1 lap led, Austin Camp.
Lane choice makes such a huge difference here in the Street Stocks, especially in the early going. If you can pick the lane that's going to push, those drivers who are back in that 3rd and 4th row have a pretty distinct advantage over their cohorts to the inside or the outside of them. Right now, it sure looked like it was Sokolsky on the outside who would get the push, but now the inside kind of rallying for a comeback as it's Camp, Beckel, and now Harding looks to have the bid for 3rd. They go door panel to door panel for it.
Yeah, no real position changes other than just the leader Camp, and these drivers all still running in the boxes. The 39 rear end gets a little loose there. Beckel now will clear Sokolsky. That inside line you talk about, Caleb, did get a big run because here comes Harding outside the turn 2 to see if Sokolsky can stay with him, and that's the battle for 3rd.
And this is the nightmare for Potasic, right? You got the shot. It looked like you were ahead of Andy Soul already, and now, unfortunately, your lane blocked, and the car behind you can't hold that outside groove. So Potasic is going to shift out of it. He will roll to the inside of Soul now and have to try to pass him on his way to the front. We know how fast the 3 car is, no matter who the driver is in it.
Yeah, the work will get a little harder for the 06 of Potasic, but if any driver is up for the challenge, we know the driver of the 06 has the skill to do it. Now Soul is looking to the outside. This 3 car, and we're going to cut back as Kenny Erickson now is parked on top of the banking and that's turn 1 and 2. And hi JD.
Hello. Nice Seattle 11 camera view. A little contact between Helm and Erickson, as you see Erickson skeeter into a stop. Just like that at the top of the corner. So, Erickson to the back of the field will reset the lineup. They go 2x2 again, and here we go with that same lane choice question that we had from before. Which lane's going to push, and which one is not going to go?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. The lights will go off the Speedway Chevrolet pace car, and we'll see. This time it'll be different because now Beckel will be on the outside, with Camp will be under the inside, and Beckel's going to get a push from Andy Soul. So we'll see what happens here as we come back around. We'll go on board the 06 machine. Steve Potasic, the Speedway Chevrolet pace car, takes the right-hander, and we're going into turn 3 and 4.
Gotta thank Brandy Hood Promotions, as well as Saxon and the, 700-month pregnant Ashley at this point in time. She's got to be ready to have that baby, right?
I'm sure we are close.
Okay, yeah. So, anyways, they're all scrambling about to get us these awesome GoPro views. We are green, and Potasic now has that inside lane. Let's see if he can follow Harding, or if the outside groove and Beckel and Soul will provide the shot around the outside.
Yeah, definitely. We're trying to see what happens here. Camp now trying to block a couple of lanes, because here comes the 39 of Harding. Camp can't quite get the door down. Now gets the nose down, the 39. Look how tough Stuart Harding was leaving it in there, trying to keep his nose in. Now Beckel will get down and clear the low lane, but that's actually going to open up the outside for Andy Soul. And if any driver wants the outside lane, it's whoever's driving that 3 car.
Yeah, Beckel made a really smart move, just kind of foot wedge his way back into the low side. But Soul, that car's so sticky no matter what groove you put it in, as you can almost see the back end kicking around, but Andy Soul drives it a little more loose, and he's driven it all the way from 5th into 2nd.
Yeah, good run. So right now for the Honey Badger, here comes the 39 down the inside. Contact with the Beckel car. 18J and the 39, nose to rear quarter panel.
Everybody drives away, though, at least for now. So it's been physical out there, but so far, no blood, no foul.
I know, Caleb, over there, you are currently as low, Harding getting real low on the groove, maybe muscling Beckel a little bit. I was going to say, I know you're angry like a Donkey Kong would be, because no race car parts right now for cars.
Except for the 18J slowing up at the outer reaches of turn number 3. And let's take a look at it, as Harding had gotten that inside lane, and trying to see what I can see on what might have gone wrong on Jackson. And I've not quite picked it up yet.
No, well, on board with Jim Fody, maybe? No, we've seen a lot
big
of
spark.
Yeah, big something dragging for sure on the 18J. Definitely, and now we're looking at Potasic. This is right behind it. Just took a hump there, and coming off the right side of the underneath of that car.
All right, so that'll knock Beckel out for the time being and reconfigure that top front of the field. Let's set him back up 2x2 once again, and out in front, this time with a new dance partner up in the front row, is Austin Camp. It's Andy Soul up there.
Yeah, and then Harding and Potasic will be row number 2, Fody Sokolsky row 3, and Kenny Erickson and Jerry Helm, and then Tony Deegan. So 20 laps, still got 10 laps down, 20 to go, and we're trying to see, will Soul work this outside line to his advantage with Steve Potasic right behind him.
Harding to the inside of Potasic. The race leader is Austin Camp, and he brings us back to green as 20 laps left, 10 in. Good start for Camp. Hugs the bottom, and heck, almost 4 tires under the white line as he got into turn number 1, but paid off for him as he drove away.
Yeah, Stuart Harding's trying to hang on to this podium spot. Here comes Potasic, and Harding's Soul is able to try to close off the 39 and will, but Potasic now trying to duel with Harding, and Soul trying to get his nose up and start to get towards Austin Camp. Hey, there's Jim Fody hanging off, getting the 85, getting involved in the battle now.
So we'll watch Soul battle for the lead. Meanwhile, Sokolsky is off the pace. Marty Sokolsky in one of the non-Camaro cars in the field, as Soul now swings to the outside, trying to get his way past the 69 of Camp. Camp denies him that time by, but Soul with him too wide in behind him goes back on the offensive down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Andy Soul's he's gonna be patient. He'll set his move up, and we know the Honey Badger will pounce when the opportunity arises. Austin Camp doing the best he can right now to just kind of plant his car, run his line. Harding and Potasek, this is still a good duel here. Steve stepping out to that mid-groove, getting a good run off of turn number 2, and he'll clear Harding up into 3rd.
Wow, the massive overhead shot there shows you a vast difference in the lines that these drivers are taking around Evergreen Speedway, especially here through turns 3 and 4. As Austin Camp continues to lead, Andy Soul bailed off the high groove, now trying the low side in the 69 out of turn number 2.
Yeah, when we come back around, they're going to get the halfway to go. 15 more laps. Austin Camp, he's going to have to defend with everything he's got because the 3 car is looking high, looking low, looking all over the bumper. Here comes the run, Andy Soul.
And Soul with the left front corner panel up to the right rear. Back straightaway, Camp making him take it all the way. As far up as he's willing to go, Soul pulls even with him at the apex. Camp will lead. Soul right there.
Whoa.
Look out.
Oh.
Cars together on the front straightaway. And Austin Camp around and Andy Soul off onto the access road in the 5/8.
We're parking a lot of cars towards the top of that part. Caleb, you can put the barrels away. You don't need to chuck them because race car parts will be had.
Well, you take a look at it. It was very, very gentle, but it happened. And that's going to give us, I believe, a new race leader when we come back to action here. As take a look at it another time. And yeah, I mean, you can't deny contact happened. The question is, what was the sum effect of the whole deal? A lot happened in a really quick period of time. Well, let's do this. Let's take a time out, gather our breath. We'll be back with the finish of the Tire Pro Street Stock main event here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Welcome back to Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. The shenanigans that occurred before the commercial break are still kind of shenanigan-y, I guess, for lack of a better term. So if you see officials doing things and pointing directions and using flags, they may be for people engaged in such shenanigans. We don't have the full story, so I can't tell it to you. But at the same time, that may be what is happening.
Sounds like our pit reporter for the night, Derek Todorov, has fallen asleep in a hammock and unfortunately is not getting us a report on what's going on. As we're back green, and Steve Potasek a good jump to the inside. Here comes Kenny Erickson in the 22. Steady Kenny making his way forward.
Is there any other way to fall asleep in the pit area? As Austin Camp, unfortunately, was knocked out of the lead. We'll have a new leader this time by in Steve Potasek. Potasek, sometimes the gift horse says, here you go, buddy. And he'll take over the top spot. Second, Harding. Third, Erickson now on the restart. And Potasek, perfect position for him. Just get out and run, man.
Yeah, here comes Jim Fody. We're on board with Jerry Helm. And the 8 car is getting settled in now. Austin Camp and the 8 car are going to go to battle. Helm looking to cover him off. Camp going to try to get refired to this front group, but the 6-9, something in that car must be off since the incident because he does not quite seem to have the same pace.
Yeah, it might be rhythm. You know what? He had just been out cruising, making laps, and fortunately things happened and knocked him out of said rhythm. Top 3 looking pretty good though. Potasek, Harding, Erickson a little ways back with Fody trying to chase him down as the veterans looking to do battle for the final podium spot if they can get there.
Yeah, here's the 3 car Soul and the 8 car Helm, and we're trying to settling in here and watching. Here's like, oh no! The 69's around. Everyone avoided. Oh, Tony Deegan.
All right, no, good. Tony Deegan out of nowhere, but clean. So from the overhead shot, let's take a peek.
Oh,
yeah, that was narrow.
That is the washing machine spin cycle starting to drag something.
Made it through.
Did that tire go down on the right rear, Caleb?
I didn't see. Let's see if we can get a look from the Soul point of view. Oh, got off into the grass and knocked something loose.
That is a tough break for the ARC teammates today. Both Jackson Beckel, Austin Camp. Mechanical issues.
And weird that they're showing like almost the same shower of sparks in the same portion of the racetrack going through. Sometimes it's your day, and sometimes you're the bug coming after the windshield, right?
Absolutely. Well, Camp will continue. The 69 is back out there. We've lost the 3 car, but now Potasek and Harding will be the front row. Erickson and 8, the road number 2.
I mentioned shenanigans.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what I said was factual. The 3 car is not on the track.
Yes, you are. Well done. Potasek with 11 laps to go. Harding and Erickson still there, and Now, Jerry Helm to the outside of the second row. See if Jerry can pull off a podium here.
I'm sure that Helm team, the 8 car, they've been hunting a podium this year. I'm sure they would love to get up on the step for the Summer Showdown weekend, and we'll see. It's a good getaway for the leaders. Here comes Kenny Erickson to the inside again. Harding, that 39 car. We got to talk about that 39 car, Stuart Harding, because it has been this midsummer run for the 39 team, I think, has been splendid. Race win, multiple podiums. I think the 39 car is going to be very happy. Kenny Erickson. Save it. Good job, Kenny.
Nice save. 39 car has really come alive, but you knew at some point in time the light bulb would go on for that race team, and things would evolve, and he's done a very nice job of that. Meanwhile...
naked motor.
It is, yeah. Whole bunch of air cleaner coming out of the Jim Fody 85 car. Down on the bottom, and look at the speed. Fody almost with big power. Powers his way by into the position, and now ahead of him is a podium spot if he can get up and reach him.
Yeah, Austin Camp is going to battle with the 22. Camp would love to get back on the podium, and so maybe that spin allowed Camp to bring it down pit road and make an adjustment and pick his rhythm and that car back up, because Austin Camp back onto the podium. Good recovery drive for the 69.
Wow, look at the tire smiley down the right-hand side of the Camp car. That's pretty significant. So he has been in the war. There has been some contact on the 69 at some point.
Yeah, Austin Camp, this is a hard-fought third place. I think he's going to, you could definitely, this is not one that was just handed to him. He had to fight for this one, and he can, I'm sure, leave feeling good about that.
That's right. Cheering over a Busch beer in the pit area afterwards, right? Well, we have got to thank Central Welding Supply. Central Welding Supply's family-owned service hasn't changed since 1975. Central Welding Supply's outstanding customer service, the industry leader in gases, welding, and safety supplies for industry and life. Check out one of their 29 locations and talk to truly expert professionals. Find one near you at centralwelding.com, centralwelding.com.
Well, Central Welding, I know, helps power and work with a lot of these cars, including Kenny Erickson running 4th. But right now we're looking at the leader, the 06 machine of Steve Potasic. The Neon Devil is going to inherit a lovely win. He was running well and fighting hard, and he ultimately, we knew he would get here.
Austin Camp
again in the same spot.
Man.
Oh, Austin, this is not a day to write home about.
No.
Dearest mother, I've spun the car in turn 3 again. Today is not my day.
Are you Andrew Luck? Is that what's happening here?
Yes, I am Commander Andrew Luck, riding home from the battle line. I'm glad we were on the same page with that.
Well, let's take a look at the slow-mo shot, or at least slow-mos for a second, into the corner, then slow-mo again of Austin Camp's day going from good to bad to good again to bad all over again.
Yeah, so we're sorry, Austin. That's a tough break.
No, that was rough. So Austin will exit stage right. And for 5 laps, we will determine the final 3, as it will be Potasic, Harding, Erickson, Fody, Helm, and Tony Deegan still plugging along. How to get Tony? Keep at her, buddy.
We love Tony Deegan, putting the street in street stock. Stuart Harding on board with the 39. This is a great shot, getting to see the helmet just up a little bit, and look how bright it is in turn 3, dear Lord.
Oh, yeah, that's hard to see, although he has got the, jumbo industrial strength mirror. He's got the Costco brand mirror, 3 mirrors for the price of 1 up at the top of his thing. That's a big mirror.
We're seeing the GoPro in the mirror.
Yeah, that's Stuart, buddy, you don't need to see, all of the city of Monroe behind you, I promise.
Well, he just wants to make sure no one's coming behind him.
Yeah, well, the entire state patrol, the city of Monroe. There's a jail out here somewhere. As it's Erickson down to the inside, bursting his way past Fody. Fody, give him a little chrome horn back. A couple of veterans about ready to duke it out over their Metamucils post-race as they roll down the front straightaway. Potasic, Harding, Erickson holds on. And I killed Ben. 3 laps to go. As that 3-car battle still in there. Erickson with a car length over Fody and half car length over Helm coming off the corner as they come down to just 2 left.
Yeah, this is going to be a good battle here for the final podium spot. Potasic and Harding have kind of driven away and kind of inheriting their own spots, but which driver is willing to make a late lunge? Does Fody or Helm have anything for Steady Kenny?
Helm is getting exploratory out there in the far reaches of the back straightaway, starting to change his exits up and learn more about his race car. So we're down to 1 to go, and Potasic has by no means streaked away from Stuart Harding here. Harding, if something went extremely wrong on Steve's car, would be right there, but don't think that's going to happen here in the last couple of corners as Steve Potasic will roll to another victory. Congratulations to him. Harding 2, and Erickson will take 3rd.
Yeah, good run there for Steve. Another big victory for the 06, and he'll increase his lead in the points.
All right, let's talk to him down at the Angel Inns Casino Resort podium.
Kenny, you put yourself in the right place at the right time tonight. How's it feel taking home the win here on Summer Showdown weekend?
Yeah, 3rd place is great. Just avoiding all the chaos out there and playing hard out there. We were bumping and banging, so it was fun though.
You're a long-time driver out here at Evergreen Speedway. Does that give you an edge when it comes to dodging all those incidents?
I'd like to think so, but it's just luck.
Who would you like to thank for your performance out here tonight?
My parents, my dad out in the pits, helping with the car, my wife in the stands here, and Central Welding.
Driver the number 22, Kenny Erickson, 3rd place tonight. Well, your family, Stuart, has had some success on this weekend. You get to add a 2nd place finish to that list. What more do you think you need to get to Steve?
Oh, man, I think we just got to keep working on the car, Steve's a multi-time champion. He's so good at this track, so I think I just got lucky and survived all the carnage and was able to kind of pull up in beside him.
Even with that 2nd place on same weekend that your grandfather once won the big race on, how's that feel?
Oh, it feels great. We came so close to getting on the podium last year in this race. It's one of those races that means so much to me, and to get on the podium is just amazing.
Who would you like to thank for your performance tonight?
I want to thank all my sponsors, Harding Forklift, Harding Motorsport Supply, all my crew, my family, and just everyone who helps get this car out to the track every week.
Driver the number 39, Stuart Harding, 2nd place tonight. Well, Steve, take home a win on Summer Showdown weekend. Been pretty dominant out here this season. Any secret to that?
Last week we had an incident and it bent the right rear spring. We put a new one in and it changed that car. It wants to rotate and it's really good. I got to thank Lang Autosports and a bunch of luck for tonight.
Ever thought about climbing back behind the wheel of a late model and running a night like tonight?
Well, yeah, sure. Anybody wants to support it.
Driver of the 06, your race winner tonight, Steve Potasic.
All right, Street Stock Main in the books. We got one more main event before we can get to the Pro Late Model 100, and that is the Legends coming up, the All-Ply Roofing Legends. And big thank you. They are our season-long show sponsor here on Home Track Heroes to All-Ply Roofing. Piper Alton, the pole for this one out of Port Angeles, mom, dad, aunt, and uncle. Chris Thompson in the 10 out of Snohomish Weatherlight Roofing, Inc. 2nd row. Jaden Luce, the 19 out of Issaquah, sponsored by mom and dad. And Samantha Schwartz in the 40 out of Mercer Island, sponsored by Mountain Equipment.
Mike Holden drives the 30, sponsored by Weatherlight Roofing, starting alongside the 15D of Davis Jacobson out of Wilkeson. The truck shop sponsors Jacobson. Jeremiah Johnson in the 13s out of Linwood. LB Motorsports sponsors him. He'll start next to Lake Stevens' very own number 20 of Damian Harris, Flow Master Gutters aboard the Harris car.
It is an all-Decker 5th row. Joe Decker, the dad, 86 out of Duval, Lewis and Maine. The daughter, Kaylee Decker in the 68 out of Duval, Lewis and Maine as well. 6th row, Chris Belanca, the 42 from Parkland Stadium Thriftway, and the 43 of Dylan Wolf.
The 30B machine is the most popular driver at Evergreen Speedway. Braden Weger out of Camino Island. Dirt Cheap Sewer sponsors Weger. He'll start next to the 20X machine. Andrew Reels looking to capture victory here out of Corbett, Oregon. The 27 machine is Dakota Grashala out of Snohomish, Apex Home Services aboard Grashala, and the 55 machine is Bella Luce out of Issaquah.
And the final 2 rows, Danny Arnold in the 11 out of Puyallup, Northern Environmental. 77 with Kyle Lang out of Stanwood, sponsored by Premier Painting Company, LLC. Back row, the Masonator, Mason Nelson out of Caldwell, Idaho, Tri-Med Ambulance in the 37. And Jeff Mueller in the 86X out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Thermotech. There are, 20 of these things? 30 times around on the 3/8s. And the All-Ply Legends will come through and get ready to go green here at the exit of turn number 4 on this lap.
Yeah, unlike the super late models during their positioning, these cars will take their sweet time getting back down the back straightaway.
Yeah, they're just coasting along right? They're not all that antsy to get going.
No,
they're
they're not.
preparing for a nice, calm race.
Absolutely. We're going to go run clean laps. We're not going to touch each other's cars, and we're all going to have fun and eat orange slices at the end of the day.
God, I appreciate your positive attitude sometimes. This we're green off the corner, and, well, so far you're right. That's
All right.
weird.
All right, I'm proud of everyone. Everyone's getting the orange slices so far.
Well, this first lap is always sketchy because you don't know what your car's going to do. Plus, your tires aren't completely warmed up. So, if the big one happens, it makes sense that it happens early when the cars aren't in optimal operating condition.
Yeah, and I might even offer cookies with the orange slices if everything continues to go so well. Big run for Chris Thompson right now. He's going to get to the lead. And Jaden Luce in the newly repaired 19 or reskinned 19 to the inside. And, we have an 86 around. And no more cookies. No cookies.
Oh, Danny Arnold says, I'll take a look at the upper reaches of turns 3 and 4 and point the wrong way down racetrack. Arnold
JD.
Arnold has seen the wrong side. You shocked me. As the caution is out. No. More chaos down the back straightaway.
You know what? That's it. I'm packing the orange slices up, too.
Yeah,
no one gets anything.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so let's take a look. Arnold starts the melee way up and just kind of by himself. And then as they're all trying to get slowed down, oops, more around? No, this is part of the first one.
Yeah, that's the Mueller car going around, but he saved it.
Okay, so this is another look at Arnold. I'm waiting to see all of the mess that happened on that back straightaway look.
Oh, yeah, here's Danny Arnold. Maybe just got caught up in the grass there and, lost
countersteer. Too much countersteer.
Lost the car. That's a tough break for Danny Arnold.
Good.
Now let's look at this. My, that's like 6 of them.
All pointing the wrong direction of the back straightaway. That is very bad. And did we put one in the tire barrier?
We did. We put a Decker in the tire barrier.
Oh, wow.
Here's Bella Luce, and, that's just, that's not the racetrack, friends.
No, coming up here in about a month or so, we'll have the fair, and they'll have the bumper cars going at it, and that's kind of what, trying to get through the bumper car ride clean looks like at some points in time, right?
Yeah, that's, this is Chris Balanca. Oh,
look out, Chris.
Oh, that's the 13.
Yeah, ouch. No bueno.
Yeah, no bueno indeed.
No, well, and through a pack of dust in the sunshine, hard to see, although Blanca's car is still rolling, at least for now. Well, we'll get this all sorted out. We'll come back, more Legend main event next on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. The Alply Legends on track, couple of laps complete, 28 to go after the disaster that involved about 8 cars, and yet most of them still running here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. My name is Caleb Hart. Ben Iman joins me, and our hopes for a clean race are all gone now, Ben, but they still got some time to put this whole thing together.
I have packed the cookies up. I have packed the orange slices up. I have given them all to Racy Raccoon, who will get to enjoy them over the next 6 to 8 months. And fortunately or unfortunately, depending on which side you find, these Legends are quite durable, and most of them made it their way back out.
So we'll see how they sort out as they try to settle down and pick some more laps up. Our program today is brought to you by the class sponsor of these Legends, and that is Alply Roofing. Big thank you to them as their title sponsorship here of Home Track Heroes. Green flag is out. Chris Thompson led the first couple. Jaden Luce and the newly redone 19 right to his outside. They go wheel to wheel. In fact, Luce nosing ahead, and you can see the advantage that he carries from the Brandy Hood Promotions in-car shot.
Yeah, good run for Jaden Luce across the line. Was first of the line, but side by side with Thompson through 1 and 2. Thompson now nosing ahead, and we're in a car that I describe as Mountain Dew inspired.
It very much looks that way, does it not?
Mm-hmm. It does.
I think that's a good call. And Thompson's going to fight his way back into the lead, so nice job by him. As often we have seen Luce get to the point and kind of run away this year. Thompson looking awfully strong in the 10 car, and yeah, look at that. Pulling away from Luce a little bit out of turn number 2.
Yeah, good run for Jaden Luce, but an even better one for Chris Thompson right now. Here comes Samantha Schwartz on the 40, and already moving up a handful of spots is the Corbett, Oregon driver Andrew Reel in the 20X.
How deep did Reel start in this field? Now, granted, he had the benefit of all those cars spinning in front of him. Reel went from outside row number 7, so 14th to 4th early for Reel.
And now he's already up into 3rd. Good move for Reel. And this is a large pack of cars. I have a feeling that won't end well.
No. Hey,
it wasn't the large pack of cars.
We call that foreshadowing. As one car around in turn number 3, and is that Ron? Yellow flag out.
Well, so is that for Luce in the 55? Bella Luce, yep. In contact with the 86. Oh, yep, that's just wrong place, wrong time. And that's going to force the caution to come back out.
Had the in-car on Bella, and round she goes. So the Legends have not decided to behave themselves, and that means a lot of stuff can happen. Guys and girls who are in the back of the field, they're going to have a lot of opportunity to move forward as long as the physicality of this racing continues. We keep going a lap and a caution, because they'll wipe out in front. If you keep your nose clean, you got a real shot at this.
Yeah, if you got a good restart car, you're going to be in luck. Short run. I don't know why you'd ever set a Legend up for a long run, but short run cars are going to dominate.
Well, you take a look at it too. Yeah, we've talked many times in the program about the John Zaretsky line, that real cut that corner short line that gets taken in turn one. The extension of the wall for the inside pit area limits the ability to make that turn as sharp as some of those drivers like to make it. So that line on these starts and restarts may not be as available as normal, and drivers may have to take an alternate plan at it.
Yeah, so we'll see if drivers, you can see how much that wall protrudes out and kind of cuts that line off, as Caleb was talking about. And that John Zaretsky line we talked about is a quality line for these Legend cars. It can really help you move forward, and we saw the out-of-towners with the Mark Ellaway Shootout come out and quickly pick that up and start using it.
So up front, the battle continues to be between Chris Thompson and Jaden Luce, and that's been a really good one. Real has worked his way from 14th to 3rd here in 7 laps, and he's made his way to the inside of Jaden Luce, looking for 2nd.
Yeah, and here comes Dylan Wolf in the 43 as well, but look to the lead. The C's are going to open, and here comes Andrew Reel's lunge to the inside. Look at how close he gets to the inside wall. Keeps the 20 planted and rotate the 10 car. A little push up the track, and Andrew Reel into the lead from 14th to 1st in 8 laps.
14th to 1st for, I believe, just a 14-year-old, if I remember correctly. So Reel working hard up in the front spot. He has got it, and Luce said, all right, enough trying to drive around Chris. Let's go underneath him, take the spot. Dylan Wolf going to follow.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe something's off in that 10 car, plummeting 3 spots in just a lap, or something unsettled in the Thompson car.
So up front, top 3 has changed. Reel, Luce, and Wolf, as looks like we have got yellow flag out once again. Bella Luce is not having a good time at the back of this field.
No, another unfortunate spot for Bella Luce to go around, and locks the tires up and, throws the hands up. Just kind of frustrated there. Looks like got a little aggressive with the move, made some wheel contact with the 86 of Mueller, and boop.
Other incidences have not necessarily been Bella's fault. That one, self-inflicted.
Yeah, try to probably get aggressive. When moves like that happen and you move to the back out under something that was not in your control, you probably get a little bit more aggressive, try to make the spots back up a little quicker.
It's still a younger driver with a lot to learn, and that's one of those deals too. When you've got a couple of yellows that may have been charged to you already, you got to be a little more conservative if you just want to stay in the race and not eliminate yourself by causing another caution.
Yep, and tough break for Bella, but we know that 55 car is going to get spun back around in the right section, and she'll put her head down and go back to work.
So, up in the front of this one is your new leader. That is Andrew Reel. Jaden Luce follows as Don Fairley in the Speedway Chevrolet pace car pulls off.
Do you know Don Fairley believes the Shohei Ohtani signing for the Dodgers was a bad move?
Well, being is that he is about to undergo another Tommy John sometime soon, I would agree with that.
Good jump for the front row. Reel and Luce side by side. Now here comes Dylan Wolf to the inside of Jaden Luce. Jaden Luce has lost a handful of spots on restarts like this when he just gets pushed to the high line, but he fights hard. He is trying to get his car planted back down low and not let Wolf around him.
And managed to do so. So a nice job by him fighting for the low groove to get it.
Whoa.
And look out. Mike Holden's 30 car. And Danny Arnold's 11, the other one involved.
Let's see, take a look here. A little stack up. Holden. Oh, wow. Arnold. You know, we've seen Danny Arnold make contact with a couple of cars here. The young driver, that's just was holding his line in the 30 car. Not 2 cars, not enough room there. Tough break for both of them.
Well, here's a look from Bella's car. Hey, she wasn't in this one. Good for her.
Maybe hit the speed racer like jump jacks, you know what I mean? And the Legends can jump up and jump over each other. That would make them cool.
Well, we're getting a lot of looks at, if you like wrecked race cars and spins and stuff, this has been a good main for you.
I'm sure, you know what, we're going to get all the wrecking and the jitters out here, and everyone for the rest of the weekend and all of Summer Showdown is just going to be clean, good, green racing.
I would be willing to put a bet on a really clean Pro Late Model 100 tonight.
Oh, I would not take you up on that because I would agree with you.
Perfect.
I'm sure that class is going to run swimmingly.
You also have diapers to buy, so I would feel bad taking your money.
Yeah, I would. Please don't take my diaper dollars.
It is the 20 of Andrew Reel, leading a very start and stop feature here. A lot of restart practice. Come on, guys.
Got a bit of a shove there from the 43 behind him.
Yeah, come on, guys. Just chill a little bit. As green's out. Most of them got through turn 1. All of them got through turn 1.
Yeah, the 10 car sliding a little further down. Davis J. Here comes Braden Wager in the 30B. We haven't said his name much today, but a quiet march forward. He said, keep the nose clean, Caleb. He's into the top 5. Braden Wager doing just that.
Race for second. Give Dylan Wolf the spot as he has made it underneath Jaden Luce for that position. Samantha Schwartz still in 4th. And let's go in cockpit with Chris Belanca here as he drives into the sunshine. And the Jacobson underneath him sure looks like it is.
And there's Damian Harris as well going underneath Belanca. Chris Belanca, the track record holder here at Evergreen Speedway in the Legends on the 3/8 Oval. So happy to see the 42 out turning some laps and came out for Galloway, now here for the Showdown and looking to march his way forward. Here comes Kyle Lang in the 77.
Lang moonlighting as a legend driver once again in between late model starts. As get a look at them coming down the speed cam here. They've put 3 laps together, see if they can keep her on going with Wager shooting to the outside.
Yeah, and
or no, that's Decker, is it not?
That is Decker on the outside. Mason Nelson, the driver who calls Caldwell, Idaho home now, is also making his way forward. Wager, Lang, and Nelson, well, that was 1, 2, 3 in the points battle last year, so all 3 of them on track, and all 3 of them definitely getting competitive and wanting to show that, hey, you know, this is still our track and our course.
At the halfway point here of this main event, that's the battle that we're looking about, I don't know, halfway through the field, 10, 11, 12 range, as the Allply Legends continue to duke it out. Let's take a second and thank Granite Construction, proud sponsor of the Super Sprint cars here at Evergreen Speedway and a world leader in the construction industry. Granite Construction, an award-winning company and great place to work.
Caleb, have you ever seen a sprint car before?
I've seen one.
They're pretty cool.
They are really cool at Evergreen Speedway, and coming up here in about 3 weeks or so in Home Track Heroes, we're going to have the Granite Cup for $10,000 to win. That's going to be a great show.
It will be a great show. Excited to see that here on Home Track Heroes.
Sprint cars, Can-Am sprints, Focus midgets, lots of open wheel. I love my forte.
Braden Wager lunging down the inside of the 40 car of Samantha Schwartz. That's the move for 4th right now, and Wager knocking on the door of a podium. Going to have to get to Jaden Luce if he wants to do it.
You mentioned Braden Wager, Evergreen Speedway's most popular driver.
That is correct.
How many times did his mom vote?
His mom, I believe, well, just once. Moms in general, quite a bit.
All the time.
Which, you know, I don't blame him. Okay. Braden Wager is very active at the quarter midget track just across the street, and you know what? And you know he's over there helping kids out and making friends, and so. You know what? I'm just going to say, you know, if you make friends and then you go, hey, come vote for me for most popular driver.
I should say hi to Tiffany because she watches every week.
Yeah?
That's his mom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Now you learned something.
I'm happy to say that Braden carries the most popular driver tag well and is a great representative of this track.
As he is trying to work his way into a podium finish here, it is him and Jaden Luce. They battle for 3rd, less than a car length separating the two of them. Your front 2 have broken away and are running away. The youngster, Andrew Reel and Dylan Wolf, 1 and 2, as they are clipping off some really good laps here at Evergreen Speedway with 8 to go.
Yeah, everyone kind of settled in, driving a little calm. Yeah, everyone, you know, maybe just running some laps.
You jinxed it. You jinxed it.
Was Ryan Hausenfluck in one of those legends?
Ronnie throws the yellow flag as we've got cars around in turn number 2. Amongst them, I believe Belanca involved in that. Extreme close-up. As get a look over. I do like the flagman cam. That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Let's take another look.
That's Bella Luce, Piper Alton, Jeff Mueller.
42.
Yeah, it's just we're on board with Luce, that's a lunge, and that's a car around.
Well, you know, that'll happen.
Yeah.
8 laps to go.
We're close.
We're getting there. So they'll go 2 by 2 once again here around Evergreen
Hey, it's Flagger Ben.
For Evergreen Speedway. As I get a look at the late models getting all staged up.
No, that was the Flagger Ben shot. I don't care about the cars in the background.
Oh, fair. Okay. It is going to give Dylan Wolf a chance to start to the outside of Andrew Reel, and it's going to give Braden Wager a chance to start to the outside of Jaden Luce here with single-digit laps left. And anything can happen on starts and restarts. What we're hoping is that they just go 3 more flags the rest of the way, a green, a white, and a checkered.
I would love to see only those 3 flags to end out this Legend main event just for these drivers. I don't like it when our drivers end up having wrecked race cars or tearing equipment up. I know you as the race car parts guy do, and I'll let you carry that burden.
Well, here's the sneaky thing, is that you have to buy race car parts direct from factory on these factory-built cars.
Oh, well, so then I guess you don't care as much.
It's one of those things. It's very rare that you can buy a complete turnkey race car from somewhere. You can from Inex with the Legends. So install seat, install belts, or take the factory seat and belts, and go. It's one of the great things about these cars is that they're all so even across the board in terms of what goes into it.
And you can truly race them anywhere.
You can.
I think, which is also something great. You could tow the Legend with you in the back of your old 60s VW bus and just go wherever you want and race your Legend.
The car that Andrew Reel is winning with here tonight, you can haul down to Vegas for one of their massive regional races, all the way back to North Carolina or anywhere in between that there's a Inex Legend race. Be legal for it and go compete. It is one of the benefits of the class.
Well, we are 5 to go, and Dylan Wolf is doing his best to try to get to Andrew Reel. Jaden Luce is trying to hang on to a podium spot, but Braden Wager's knocking on the door, and we've got a car around. It's Jeremiah Johnson.
Slides to a stop as Johnson draws the, 53rd caution flag in this race.
That sounds about right.
He'll back her up into the corner. Let's watch and see how it happened.
Maybe a little contact there. And
yep, around.
We're on board with Bella Luce. Oh, no,
she's going to avoid this one. She had to go, whew, close call. Close call. Did not need a 55 car in another one of those. That would have been bad.
No, not for deep.
Well, it's another restart opportunity here for these drivers as the field line it up 2 by 2. You would have thought that the field would have gotten smaller after all this, but
they're so durable.
Yeah, exactly. What did I say? We started 20, and I think there's still 18 left.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that these Legend cars are actually assembled out of, like, I don't know, adamantium or something. That's the only way that they're able to deal with all of this. Or
it's a really good X-Men reference. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Reel Wolf one more time. Andrew Reel's got to be getting sick of seeing green flags wave here. As there goes Wolf quickly down to the bottom. Yeah, and that forced Luce onto the binders. Wager with the nose as he's looking for third. And Schwartz trying to get involved here.
Yeah, Luce had a really good run down the back straightaway, though, and pulled even with Wager, and that is a caution flag.
Well, that's common.
Was that just for fun? Was that, we called the restart back. Did not like the restart. Caleb, we did not like the restart. Sounds like the front row jumped a little bit of Reel and Wolf. And per the drivers' meeting, Caleb, we're going to swap rows 1 and 2. So Wolf and Reel will go to row number 2. And now Wager and Luce will be on the front row. That's it. All the drivers were given the warning in the drivers' meeting. And 1 restart violation, rows 1 and 2 will flip.
Okay.
So Braden Wager, Jaden Luce will be the new front row. And Andrew Reel and Dylan Wolf will have to go to work to try to get back to those 2. And this is really going to shake things up. And, Dylan Wolf in that 43, that car was he gave some good pushes to Andrew Reel. Now he's going to give Braden Wager a shot at another good one.
Wow. Well, that really does change the equation on this significantly.
Yes, it does.
So now, from the front, Jaden Luce, Braden Wager,
and
never met a gift course they didn't like as we go into the first corner and we're green and it's going to be Luce getting the jump. And Wager now with a lot more on the line. He is in hot pursuit with Reel down on the bottom trying to pick it up.
Yeah, that 20 car just seems so rapid, quickly trying to get to the back of Luce down to the inside. Wager also looking to the inside. Jaden Luce can't defend both lines at once. Andrew Reel's going to try to poke the nose in, gets real low on the track, a little squirrely. Wager up onto the podium. Luce, Reel, Wager, 1, 2, 3.
Look at that. Andrew Reel running with some teenage angst to get back to the front. And it's all for naught as Dakota Gruchella and Piper Alton go around in turn number 4.
And,
well, let's watch it again.
Yep.
It was synchronized at least. It was pretty. It's like they timed it up just
well,
nice.
look at this shot.
From the Elevate Racing Media drone and David Nelson. Thank you, David.
Yeah, just tough break there. Cars, yep, just a deep lunge there, and 2 cars go around, and not how either one of those drivers wanted it to go.
We need a break from this.
Yeah.
We're going to take a time out. We're going to come back after the commercial. We finish up the Legends main here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Well, we let these drivers have a nice commercial break. We took one ourselves here at Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11, which is brought to you by All Ply Roofing. And hopefully in that time, they settled down. Somebody got me a juice box. We're ready to go. It is Andrew Reel, Jaden Luce, Braden Wager, and Dylan Wolf side by side for 3 more laps around. Fingers crossed we can make it incident-free. Here we go, Ben Hyman.
Yeah, a couple drivers to note, too, have made their way forward in this race. Damian Harris, Kyle Lang, just also keeping the nose clean, moving their way forward, sitting right now 5th and 7th. Green flag is out. Here we're rolling. Jaden Luce on the outside of Andrew Reel. Andrew Reel got the lead at the line for the restart. Him and Luce, it was a good battle there, but Andrew Reel is going to drive away now. Here's Braden Wager to the inside of Jaden Luce. Good battle there.
Yeah, Luce is giving it everything he can from that outer groove. He's got Wager to his inside, so he can't get down around the preferred line around the racetrack yet. So we're down to 2 to go. Reel is driven back into the lead. Key thing for him after that penalty on the, jump start a couple of laps ago. But Reel showing himself to be top dog as we get to the white flag.
Yeah, Wager and Luce still side by side. Dylan Wolf is looking for any way around them, but can any of them? Oh, there it is. A little shove, maybe a little bit of contact. Luce trying to hold the outside line. Wager into second. Now a good battle is on for third. Side by side is Luce and Wolf, but off of turn 4, Andrew Reel comes from Corbett, Oregon, and wins.
Congratulations to the young man. Give second to Wager, give third to Wolf. Let's talk to him on the podium here on Home Track Heroes.
All right, Dylan, you've had some good speed. Every time the 43 makes its way to Evergreen Speedway, tomorrow's going to be a big day for you guys. How are you feeling about that race again to go podium twice?
I had a pretty good car, kind of got on that start. I don't know why they started us back. We had a pretty good start going. Andrew had a hell of a race going with me, and it was pretty good up until then.
Who do you want to thank for helping you get out of here?
Got to thank my sister and brother-in-law, Doug Keefe, for giving us the shop to do it, and my dad for helping us set the car up.
All right, we'll give it up. Third place tonight. We'll see him tomorrow. Dylan Wolf. All right, Braden, a bounce-back performance after Galloway. Back on the podium. How's the car treating you? How's the season overall going?
I've been. This is my 4th year running this Showdown, and every year I've had bad luck. And coming into this, my best finish at this race was 7th, and the car's been pretty good all day. Thanks to Ricky for helping us out with the brake pads, and overall it's been a good season. It's been fun. Congrats to Andrew on the win. You drove pretty well, and it's always fun running with all these quarter midget kids. They drive a pretty good race.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out of here?
I want to thank Francesca and Colin King, Dirt Cheap Sewers, Ava Cannon Real Estate, Blue Collar LLC, Nexus Fab, Big Kahuna Fishing, Purcell Central Welding Supply, Joe's Racing Products, Elevate Racing Media, Diang Inc. I want to thank all the fans for coming out tonight, and James, Brad, my mom, my dad, and everyone that's helped us out this season to get me where I am right now.
Second place tonight, driver of the 30B, Braden Wager. All right, Andrew, every time you bring that legend car to this 3/8 oval, you're always bad fast. What is the secret that you guys have to conquering this track?
I've raced here a long time, so I just got the feel for the track, and my car's always been pretty good here. Kenny Armstrong, Ricky Armel, they help a lot with the setups and stuff, and they just get me here, and they help me with everything. So
This is the second Summer Showdown in a row that you've walked away with a legend win. Do you think you can pick up a third tomorrow?
Maybe. We'll try. We're definitely going to be, hopefully we're good tomorrow, but, we'll get another podium or a win, so yeah.
And who helps you get that car out here?
Ricky Arnold, Kenny Armstrong, my family, my dad, and my mom. Sharps Transportation, Danreal Excavating, and just everybody who helps, all my sponsors, and yeah.
All right, we'll give it up. Your race winner tonight. He'll try to go 2 for 2 tomorrow. Andrew Reel.
Very cool win for Andrew Reel, predicting some big things for him coming up here in the future. We are ready. It is time for the Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Models. It's summer shootout time for 100 laps here on Home Track Heroes. Fun field of cars. Should be a really good 100 lapper, a little bit longer than what we're used to for them. Pole sitter for this one is Dylan Capello. He's out of Charlotte, North Carolina. It's Western Mountain Inc., the sponsor on the 11. Thomas Stanford, East Wenatchee, Washington, the Ackerman Construction, number 19. Second row is Haley Constance, car number 78 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Joe's Racing Products. And the 00 is Nama Lang out of Linwood, sponsored by J&R Trucking.
The 12C machine of Chad Fitzpatrick's on row 3. He's out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Trademark RCS. He'll start next to the 3S of Andy Soul out of Santan Valley, Arizona. Tire Pros aboard the car. Soul pulling double duty today. The 14 machine is my fellow new dad, Colton Price, out of Everett. Northwest Boiler sponsors him. He'll start next to the 3 car. Wyatt Gardner out of Lake Stevens. Edwards Construction sponsors Wyatt.
Row number 5 on the inside. Chase Gardner out of Snohomish. Qualities Towing sponsors the 32. To his outside, Nash Youngren out of California. Youngren Construction is on the 22 car. Then it is Jeff Knight in the 70. He is sponsored by the legendary Owens Meats in Cleveland. And the 33 of Kyle Lang out of Snohomish, sponsored by Phillips Law Firm. 1-800-JUSTICE on the 33, another double-duty driver. Final car starting on the field, Mike Marthaler out of Everett. The number 2, sponsored by Direct Carpet Cleaning and House Cleaning, as we have got 13 cars for 100 circuits here in the summer shootout.
It's going to be a good summer shootout. The Speedway Chevrolet pace car lights are off, and we are all set up. It is Capello. It is Stanford on the front row for this one.
And it's 100 around the 3/8. So next Sunday, it's going to be the super late models doing 200 around the 5/8. You're going to want to buckle in for that one. Here is the little wet your whistle preview as the green flag is out. And it is Stanford and Capello down the back straightaway to the early lead.
Yeah, and here comes Nama Lang quickly trying to get to the outside and make his 00 work. In the traditional white, blue, and orange, you saw him in the black and red earlier, but Nama back in this car for the Pro Late portion, and Haley Constance the outside. Good battle between Capello and Stanford. Stanford had it at the line.
Stanford looking comfortable in that middle groove, has yet to pull it down, even though you'd say he's clear at this point. Will he dive to the bottom of turns 1 and 2? He will. So Stanford to the top spot. Capello settles into second with Lang third.
Yeah, good settling. We'll go on board with Colton Price in the 14 machine. You see him battling out with Wyatt Gardner in the 3, and Wyatt in the white number 3 today. First time this car has been on track in a competitive fashion he was talking about, and looking to see what it can do. The defending track champion hasn't had a chance to be out much this year, but happy to see him out here for the summer shootout.
In-car look at the Colton Price car. Forgot the water bottle for the drink holder, unfortunately, on the right-hand side.
Or could you put maybe like a tall Dr. Pepper in that? Would you recommend that?
So long as it's not a tall bush light during racing action, I'm absolutely fine with that. However, Colton Price, you can see he's got a lot of steering input coming into that steering wheel. It looks like he is fighting her a little bit, at least here in the early going, but I do like how clean the cockpit is and the build that he's got in the 14 cars. He was trying to sneak to the inside there, trying to pick up a spot in the early stages of this race, but nothing new in that time by.
Well, we are 6 laps into this, and Thomas Stanford is opening up a nice little gap here to Capello. Nama Lang, Haley Constance, Chad Fitzpatrick, some of the usual suspects, and then some out-of-towners running up front with them. So far, the championship battle is between your cars running 3rd, 4th, and 5th so far this season, and Wyatt Gardner starting to sneak his way up there running 6th.
Taking a look, Capello's going to get a real education on how to run Evergreen Speedways. He's got one of the best of all time in behind him in the 00 of Lang. He was going to sneak up half a groove here in the corner. We got to thank the fine folks at Nelson Motorsports for their support of Home Track Heroes. Nelson Motorsports in Snohomish offers a full-service sales and repair shop. Great prices on ATVs, quads, go-karts, motocross, bikes, scooters, golf carts, and more. Make Nelson Motorsports your one-stop center for motorized ATV fun.
Yeah, head over to Nelson Motorsports and see the invaluable, absolutely, he dominates everything he does, Dave Roseman, and Don Farrell as well. He's also there.
Don's taking takes a minute from watching San Francisco Giants baseball.
Well, it's just where he takes his naps.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. As Capello getting all kinds of pressure from Lang, he is really putting Dillon to the test here early. So you can see the 00 wants by and wants to start running down Thomas Stanford earlier rather than later. Constance a solid fourth with Fitzpatrick in tow as those four freight training with Wyatt trying to roll in.
Yeah, the drivers right now, Namath hasn't quite had the speed to get to Capello. He's doing a good job kind of keeping him right behind him, but you know, that outside groove's not going to be great for a lot of these prolates, and 100 laps on these tires, like I said, is longer than we've taken them at any point this year. I'm interested to see how everyone plays the tire game on the 3.8 oval, Caleb.
Should be interesting for sure. Again, 25 laps beyond what we have traditionally done, as Lang's still working hard to try to figure out Capello, and Capello has not budged. Like, he has not flinched, he has not budged. Those left side tires are right down next to that white line coming through the corners. There's just not been room for Namath. Now, Namath's options are to bump him or to move him. Those are the, you know, expected within the rules kind of things. Much less turn him, which, you know, is an option as well, but hasn't done any of the three yet. Just content to at least to follow for now.
I think Namath knows that we're only, you know, we're at lap, you know, we still got 85 laps left in this thing. He doesn't have to quite make any kind of move now, as Stanford has a nice gap, but Stanford is not running away from this field, I would say. He's got a nice, comfortable gap, but these cars running a little bit further behind are running comparable times to him, as Colton Price might be looking at the inside of Andy Soul in the battle further back on the track.
Trying to get around the Tire Pros car here at the Tire Pros Summer Shootout. Car length between them, but you can see Price had that half a groove lower than Soul did through the corner and trying to make the move.
Yeah, Lang, he's going to look to set up a move here. I know Namath's got something in him. He's not just going to continue to run single file, and he's not just going to let Haley and Chad sit back behind him. I know Namath, you know, wants to stamp his name in another championship record book, and to do that, he's going to have to move his way forward here. We're looking at a battle between Chase Gardner and Nash Youngren, and we're also looking at it on board with Jeff Knight.
So Jeff Knight's going to give us the in-car view of what that battle looks from behind. Gardner, who has been on the steadily improving path, has put together some pretty good performances here. Had a Mark Galloway to forget, but at the same time looking to get back up on the horse and put together a better performance as we'll flash forward. Coming into 20 laps down, Colton Price ready to make his move.
Yeah, good side-by-side action in a lot of places. Colton has the low line on Andy Soul, and that three machine, you know, Andy was whipping the street stock around on the outside as we're on board with Andy Soul, and you know, that is quite a narrow looking out window.
Well, you don't need a ton of room, and at the same, because you're looking ahead, right? You're looking ahead down racetrack, not necessarily in the immediacy of in and around you. Soul boy battling tooth and nail with Colton Price. Good racing action between the two of them. Price nosing ahead down the back straightaway, but Soul just not giving it up easy.
Yeah, Colton Price going to have a good turn in here through 3 and 4 and look to squeeze Andy Soul out, and he will clear Colton Price up into 7th place in the 14 car. And Colton not running a full season this year, but has come out for some of these bigger events and showing he's still got a lot of good race car and a lot of great racecraft in that machine. And anytime he comes out, he's always a threat to run towards the front.
So we're about to get to the third of the way through mark, a couple of laps away from it. Thomas Stanford continuing to hold about that same advantage that he has over Dylan Capello. And Capello has had Namath Lang filling up that rear view mirror here for almost all 23 of these laps. Stanford, Capello, Lang. It is Constance and Fitzpatrick still sitting 4th and 5th.
Yeah, Capello's doing a really good job. He's just rubber banding his lead a little bit, pulling a little bit of Namath on the straightaways, and Namath's closing up a little bit in the turns, and just kind of running a comfortable second. But I wonder how much more speed is in the 00, the 78, and the 12C right now compared to Thomas Stanford and not compared to Capello, if they could get around the 11 car and get some clean air.
And I wonder if Namath's getting to the point where he feels like he needs to venture up to upper groove. They've run in Stanford a little bit, so Thomas is getting closer for them. If Lang has got enough car speed to go around the outside of Capello, we'll see if he's willing to venture up and make the move, because Constance has been right there. She has been bird dogging him for 20 laps.
Yeah, all over the back of Namath Lang is Haley Constance in that 78 machine, that Joe's chassis. making its debut run this year. It's gone to victory lane. It's been on the podium, and I'm sure Haley would love to get around NEMA and pick up some more points on the 00.
The newly clipped Joe's chassis.
That is
You
true.
remember that car took quite the wreck there at the Galloway, and unfortunately has a new front clip on it. At the same time, still performing, and the clip went on easy. It's a fun fabrication process. I'll tell you about it sometime.
Ooh, okay. I'd like to learn. Chad Fitzpatrick at the 12C slipping off the back of this group just a tad bit. Wonder if Chad's not right in the long run here of his car. Haley also falling off the back of NEMA a little bit, and then we get a little bit of a gap back to Wyatt Gardner. We know that Gardner and that 3-car team have been wrenching on cars a lot today, trying to get the Super Late ready for next Sunday, and trying to get this car. It's for its maiden voyage out there. So
there is a point too where your spotter will tell you, "Hey, back off and give them a little bit of space." It just gut feel something might get ready to happen. There might be some contact, and you want a little room to drive around it. And I don't know, it's Joe and Haley's here. I don't know if that's what he's telling her at this point in time, but she's definitely giving him a car length. We'll find out what's going to happen. We've got to take a break. More for the summer shootout for the Pro Late Models next on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Well, we are just short of 1/3 of the way through the Pro Late Model Summer Shootout. That is the Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Model Summer Shootout. It's brought to you by Tire Pros here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. I'm Caleb Hart. He is Ben Hyman. Ben, our show brought to you by All Ply Roofing, and we are watching the battle heat up for 6th place as Wyatt Gardner starting to feel some pressure from the 14 of Colton Price.
yeah, Colton Price, I think, would like to move his way forward. He's already picked up one hard pass so far, and now is maybe looking to make another one on Wyatt, and we're still looking at this battle. 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Haley starting to close back up on NEMA.
Yeah, NEMA Lang has been just all over Dylan Capello, the 11 car, and his rear bumper cover for about, I'm going to say, we've run 34 laps. He's been there for 33 of them. Constance has waxed and waned on that battle a little bit. She's back into waxing mode as she gets closer to the rear of the 00 of Lang, but we will watch Gardner, who is half a groove up, and Price has that 14 car glued to the low side, looking awfully good and trying to make that pass. Leader of the 19 at Tom Stanford.
You know, we haven't had to talk much about our leader because he's just been running such clean laps and just kind of setting the tempo that he's been up and away and hasn't been challenged so far. So Tom is kind of running under the radar. It's hard to run under the radar when you're the leader, but he kind of is doing his thing.
Well, as far as the TV show goes, he just hasn't got a whole lot of screen time yet, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
We're watching to see if Price can make that move on Gardner, and we'll get another look from the drone. And at this point, Price is starting to get the nose, just a hair underneath Wyatt. We know Wyatt will race him clean. He's got the spot. Gonna seat it to him down the front straightaway. Low lane belongs to Price, and 6th belongs to Colton Price.
Yeah, good move for Colton. Just, set his line, pick his spot, and slowly pick him off one by one. That's been the strategy for Colton Price so far today, and he's moved his way up a lot. And here's NEMA Lang really under the rear bumper of Capello. Now he gives him a bit of a bump. Now I think NEMA might be sees the clock ticking and is, all right, now I'm done with this.
Yeah, NEMA getting a little froggier back there, and Capello saying, "You feeling froggy? Go ahead and jump." As Dylan continues to just play some D, run that low line. He's kept Stanford no further than half a straightaway or less in front of him at this point. So Capello doing a magnificent job in 2nd. Haley Constance starting to think that maybe she's willing to try the outside here on the 00 of Lang, or at least trying to set him up for a move, as looks like she's tired of running 4th.
Yeah, Haley's definitely swaying all around. All of this behind Capello. You know what they say, Caleb? Offense wins games, but defense wins championships. Capello is really making it hard for these drivers. Now Haley setting up a move, looking the inside. Now NEMA's venturing up to this mid-groove. Here's some shuffling. Here's drivers trying something different.
Yeah, NEMA almost looks like he had swung wide to open up his entry, and Constance, the perfect counterpunch at the time, stuck the nose a little underneath. NEMA having to adjust. You can see he does not swing that wide on corner entrance this time, hugging the bottom of the speedway because the 78 was there at least once.
Yeah, NEMA's definitely, he's hunted. He's looking high, he's looking low. He just wants to get around that car of Capello in front of him and see if there's anything he can do to try to make it happen. Now look at that shot from the onboard of NEMA getting right to the back bumper.
He's faster. I mean, you can see the 00. He's got the car speed in him. It's just the path hasn't been there. Capello has been so technically excellent on the bottom of this speedway. Now NEMA's got the run, finally gets the nose under, and Capello's going to have to cede the spot. Big move for Nema Lang. He's up to second out of turn 2.
See if Capello has a lunge back at him. No, he won't, but he'll keep himself planted low and make Constance take the high line now. And now Nema, clean air, 54 laps to go catch Thomas Stanford. No break in this one, by the way, Caleb. We're
That's
running
right.
these 100 laps straight through to the end. So it's time, I think at this point, if you're Nema, it's get on the gas and go, even now.
Well, you can see from Haley Constance, she was willing already to try to sneak up and around the outside of Capello, so the game plan may not be as conservative on the 78 car as she looks to work her way in the top 3, and Lang needs to start just bringing that rod and reel in. Look out! Capello got off into the less than green grass, but managed to save it and bring it down. That car might start to be getting a little bit loose.
Yeah, he might. He looked like when we were on the onboard with Nema, we could see the rear end having to shift a little bit more and more in the center of the turn. So Capello might be pushing a little bit, might have to be, correcting and moving that wheel a little bit. You could see it looks like with his hands, maybe he was off fighting it in the shot there a little bit. So see if Haley can step up a move and pounce if Capello makes another mistake like that one.
You look at it, we are just a couple of corners away from halfway into this. That means that you have burned fuel load, you've used some tire at this point in time. The car is not going to handle the same. And here in the Pro Late models, you've only got one cockpit adjustment that can really do anything, and that's the brake bias adjuster. Adjust your percentages from front to rear brake a little bit, kind of bring that handle back into the car if you adjust the correct direction. The question is, has Capello even touched his adjuster yet? And did he move it the right way? As now here's Constance. You can see she's getting off the corner half groove lower than Capello.
I would say when you're in the cockpit, how quickly would these drivers know if that adjustment's making an actual change for them?
You're making the adjustment on the straightaway, so you'll know it in the corner.
So right away?
Yep, absolutely. And the great ones have minutia level of feel. I couldn't tell you what every turn equates to percentage that you're making a change, but I know the really good ones touch it a little bit at a time and just move it very gradually to get to where they're trying to get to.
Well, this is a great shot provided to us by David Nelson and Elevate Racing Media. Just look at that beautiful 3/8 oval with these cars on it. You can see everyone parked in the infield today. You can see the outline of the figure 8 course. Just a beautiful track, and Thomas Stanford is eating up all of it in the lead, and he's going to quickly start to come onto the back of our first lap car, Kyle Lang in the 33.
As Nema Lang is keeping him within close striking distance. Those two have gotten away from Capello and Constance, and I think you can also see the urgency in Constance as those top two are getting by, and she doesn't want to have to reel in that much space.
No, I'm sure she doesn't want to have to burn all that tire up to try to get back to these two. Nema, as we talked about, we wanted to see what he could do versus Stanford, and I would say, given the eye test, I'd say the 00 is the fastest car on the track right now.
These two duked it out for a points championship a number of years back, with Nema just barely sneaking by Thomas in the very last week of the year. They were tied coming into championship night that night. Lang ends up picking up his most recent track title. Here comes Constance again, looking to swing out from the corner. And did she set him up? She dove to the inside, but Capello got back to get the door slammed closed.
And not afraid to shut the door and keep the 78 behind the 11 for now. We'll see what Haley can do. Sometimes it'll take a couple laps to set a move up. I'm sure she's going to settle in, work Capello, and try something new.
Well, you have to be worried at this point in time because Capello is willing to make that kind of aggressive move to slam the door. Haley's got to be willing to move him a little bit, I think.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of bumper, a little bump and run. Not be afraid to get a little physical. The 78. Haley will drive you like you drive her.
As she'll try to line him up, pushes through the outside, through the turn, less than a car length between them. Getting closer through 3 and 4. She'll stay in line this time as they both go in the bottom of 1 and 2. Constance looking to line up the move down the back straightaway with the slower car of Lang lingering ahead of him.
Yeah, we're on board with Constance, and she did not forget the water bottle.
No, of course she wouldn't forget the Joe Super Drink holder.
We're trying to really find a way around Capello. Capello has been quite defensive, throwing the block, trying to make it hard. Constance is going to have to, I think, work real hard and get a little, like you said, get a little physical if it comes to it.
Well, we'll watch her come into the corner, and yeah, there's that little rub. Coming through, has the nose down underneath. Can't get there, but she's going to put the quarter panel into him. Coming off of turn number 2, couldn't get low. Going to do it again.
Oh.
There it is. And it's a good save by Capello, but there's that little move that we kind of saw coming for a number of laps.
Yeah, Haley Constance around Capello. Here comes Chad Fitzpatrick. He wants to try to get around the 11. More contact between those two. He'll slip back behind Capello. See if Chad makes another lunge in there. No. 12C starting to come alive with 37 laps to go.
And it's not dirty. It's just a move, and it's part of late model racing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These cars,
it's getting the elbows out.
Yeah, they will make contact every once in a while. And Capello got her back together, held on to fourth, but Constance is now third. And let's watch and see if she has got some legs underneath her to run down Stanford and Lang for the first and second spot, because they had opened it up a bit.
Yeah, see if the 78 can run down the 00, and we'll see if maybe Capello can get back to the 78 of Constance. And I'm sure Haley will have to expect that Capello would be quite just as physical back to her if needed.
Yes, indeed. Nose would be coming if necessary. As we need to take a second and thank the fine folks at PRCBD. You visit PRCBD in Arlington for all your CBD products for people and pets. PRCBD has help for all types of aches and pains. Go to prcbd.com. Use the promo code RACE.
We are racing here at Evergreen Speedway. Constance has pulled away from Capello. You can see it there. Now Capello and Chad Fitzpatrick duking it out for fourth. We're watching Stanford and Lang. We'll see where we want. Well, next time we get a shot of them, we'll see where they're at. But Chad Fitzpatrick maybe trying to set his spot up in the 12C machine. Good year for Chad Fitzpatrick so far in this 12 car, and I know he's just happy that he's still racing at this point in the season, because last year he could not say the same thing.
Right. One of our co-hosts here on Home Track Heroes, when the late models are not on the program, he is within a car length here, the 11 of Capello, as looking for a path to get by. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead has gotten even tighter. They come off corner number 4, and Nema Lang in position to where if 19 of Stanford makes a really bad lap, he's going to be right there.
Yeah, but here's my question is, how much of this tire was Thomas Stanford able to save up while Lang was having to battle it out with Capello? Does Thomas have some more left than Nema? With 29 laps to go, if you have any tire left, you're getting on the gas and you're using it probably now. You're probably not saving anymore.
I'm wondering when the go point would be for Stanford, depending if he was able to conserve it all on this. We've seen some guys wait until 10 to go to really gun it, make that happen. So we know he will at some point in time if he was able to save anything. That question is going to be when, and now you kind of see how far back it is to the rest of them. It's a little ways before Haley can get to him, as she is not even in screen yet for 1 and 2.
And we are on board with Nema Lang during this golden hour of racing here so far. The sun's starting to go down, the lights coming on for the last 25 laps of the Summer Shootout 100. Thomas Stanford sure would love to pick this one up. A podium at the Mark Galloway, a win at the Summer Shootout. I would call that a successful swing through Super Speedway of the West for him.
A place that he has been very good in the past, and expecting more continued success for Stanford as these years creep along. We are running out of time for everybody else to do anything, as it's Gardner and Soul, the dueling 3 cars, being trailed around by the 22 of Youngren, who we haven't had much chance to talk about. Nice to see Youngren make the trip and compete here in the Pro Late Model Summer Shootout, as he's getting a little loose off the turn.
So was Andy Soul coming off that turn. Both cars starting to get a little loose as we continue to take them down. Chase Gardner, next car on the chopping block to go a lap down. We're watching these two now. Look at Nema trying to close up to Thomas Stanford.
We'll see the hold your line or the move over flag starting to come out as Nema Lang trying to use the opportunity here to get close to Thomas Stanford. He will do so. Stanford past Gardner, Lang follows, 1 car length separates your top 2 with 22 laps to go this time by.
Just trying to settle in. Thomas trying to pick his spots and pick off these laps one by one as he can, but Nema has closed up a lot to Thomas Stanford. The East Wenatchee Warriors trying to hold off Mr. 8-time, and it's a good battle between 2 quality drivers. Drivers we've seen win a lot anywhere they go. And the next car on the lap list is the 70 of Jeff Knight.
Yep, Jeff is next up on the agenda, flying the Owens meet spot. You've been to Owens meets?
I have not.
Oh my goodness, you're missing out.
Yeah, next time I'm in Cle Elum, I'll have to swing through it.
Jeff says it's legendary.
I believe him.
He is right on this one. As down to the bottom of the racetrack goes Stanford. He will sneak underneath the 70 of Knight and brings Nema Lang with him. So traffic starting to subside for your race leader. Lang has managed to close in on Stanford over the course of this about 50-lap run. Let's see if Nema can do anything with Stanford now that he is right in on him.
Yeah, Nema will get around Jeff Knight there, and now Thomas Stanford again, just starting to pick his spots. Look how comfortable he looks in the corner. A little bit of a push there as he got into 4, but looks very comfortable and confident just by the onboard here. You can see, look at him stay planted to that line. Oh, gorgeous.
And again, if Stanford has any legs to stretch, you expect it to be coming any time now. Between now and about 8 more laps, I would say, is when you're going to see Stanford really push the pedal down and give the car everything left that he has got to try to build an advantage here. As it is Stanford and Lang, and there Thomas opening it up a little bit. But Nema still has a little left in his back pocket as well, as the 19 not getting away yet.
No, we're running the same kind of distance. Nema just keeping him about a car length away and just trying to stay with him, pick his spots, run clean laps, and look to pick up some spot. We're going to come up on some more lap traffic. Now, this lap traffic is going to be a little different. It's Youngren, it's Soul, and it's Wyatt Gardner, but these cars, this is a battle for position, and they're not necessarily going to just immediately cede the way to the fast cars behind them while they're duking it out for their own spots.
No, you might get Youngren to do that because he's a little ways back of those 2 cars that are bumper to bumper in front of him. So we're down to 14 left. Lang is finding everything he can, trying to stick with Stanford, and Stanford's got 3 in a row lined up right in front of him here at the tail end of this race. It's go time for Stanford. Can he get there?
Yeah, Haley Constance has cleared Jeff Knight. Not quite sure where she's at in relation to our front 2 cars, but the 78, you talk about it's go time. Here comes Haley. She's ripping around. Oh, problems to 22 Youngren.
And that was your leader who was closing in on Youngren at the time.
Oh.
So around goes Youngren in the 22, and that is going to bring us to a break. And yeah, Stanford was right in on the back bumper there when that happened. Interesting.
Yeah,
to the point where there might have been a hair of contact.
Maybe just a hair. I don't know. We'll see. We're looking at him, maybe not from that angle. Tough to say, but Youngren just shoots up the track and into the spin cycle.
Oh, so all of that gap is going to go bye-bye. We are going to stack this field up and restart them when we come back from break. The finale of the summer shootout will be next here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Well, we're down to just 14 laps to go, and the drama just ratcheted up a notch here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Program brought to you by All Ply Roofing. You are watching the Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Models and the Tire Pros Summer Shootout. Thomas Stanford has led them all so far. Nema Lang had closed real close on him, and Haley Constance, one of the fastest cars on the track, now has no gap to make up within that top 3, as we're going to have a 14-lap shootout for the shootout win.
Yeah, this is going to be quite an intense 14 laps. I'm interested to see for any of these cars maybe a little bit further back, Capello, Fitzpatrick, even Colton Price, do they have anything left in the tank that they can use up now that the gap is closed up?
We're going to find out. Don Fairley in the Speedway Chevrolet pace car pulls in to watch some more Notre Dame football as we come off of corner number 4. We're back to green for Stanford and Nema Lang.
Oh, it's a good jump for the 19, trying to close off Lang right now. Nema's going to go up the track. Here comes the 78 of Constance to the inside.
Oh.
Can't quite get it to stick.
Yeah, and she pushed up a little bit. It actually gave Fitzpatrick a look to the inside of Haley. Fitzpatrick's going to get up and put a little yellow paint on the back bumper cover of the 78 car as he looks to get underneath Capello for 4th. And he may have that spot coming out of the corner.
Whoa.
Look out, Chase Gardner.
Back to Chase.
Yeah, Ronnie Vision strikes again. As let's take a peek. It's Marthaler down to the inside. Ooh, yeah, there's a door and a half. And off into the...
That 32 has spent too much time in that grass for that Gardner family and that team. I feel bad for Chase because he was putting something together today and
it's no longer even green grass.
Oh, and a cone.
It's dying middle of the summer grass. Well, Gardner ends up out in the tulips. He'll settle back down, and we get another side-by-side restart coming up here, Ben.
Yeah, we're going to try this again, and we'll see who tries something different this time on the restart. Now that these drivers have had a chance at it, we'll see what else they've got.
Well, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So, Nema's got to be looking for a different play in the playbook coming up here on Stanford.
Yeah, he's going to have to maybe a little bit more muscle on the outside. Maybe, Thomas had a great jump the last time, I think is the big thing, though. Nama's going to have to, I think, without jumping the start, to jump him a little bit.
Get harder into the accelerator sooner so he doesn't lose as much ground. And, that could be a gearing thing. These drivers have quick change rear ends that they will run different gear ratios in, so maybe some of them are getting faster up into their power band than others, but don't quite have the same top end speed. It's very much a question.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Speedway Chevrolet pace cars taking left-hander. We're quickly accelerating. Stanford and Lang side by side. Turn 4, white line, green flag.
That little wiggle off of the top of 4 is kind of what's biting Nama there. As to the inside goes Constance. Haley stuck the bottom a little better that time. Capello gonna follow and slide back. Nama, Lang, it's Constance 2, Capello 3.
If I didn't think I'd ever see Nama Lang make a mistake, and that just looks like a mistake out of the 0-0.
Mistake a little, but then he got rooted a little bit too, and it got physical there.
It got physical fast, and now Nama just has gone from 2nd to 4th. Capello, we'll see what Capello, we're on the back rear bumper cover with the camera of Haley Constance, and GoPro might get squished here if Capello wants to return the favor to the 78.
Joe's Racing Products makes fantastic GoPro mounts, and you can see them put into effect right there. As there goes Jeff Knight putting a fender into the 3 of Wyatt Gardner. This got really physical on this restart all the way through the field.
That's a lot of Ford Fusion.
A little bit. Well, remember, Haley moved Capello a bit to get by him. You got to remember that this could be the comeback from Capello like we expected.
Yeah, Capello giving a little bit of a bumper there, it looks like, to the rear end, but not able to unsettle the 78. By the way, Thomas Stanford has just picked up and taken off, and he's like, you guys fight it out all you want.
Well, this is all brought to you by All Ply Roofing. Is your roof keeping up with all the weather, washing and dishes out? Call All Ply Roofing for a free estimate at allplyroofing.com, your residential and commercial roofing team. All Ply Roofing.
Haley has pulled a little bit of a gap down to the 11. Thomas Stanford is taking off less than 8 laps to go now. 7 to be exact as Stanford takes the line. Does Nama have any more drive to get back to these cars again?
Your version of taking off and mine are vastly different here, because that's only 3 or 4 car lengths in between your leader. Now, granted, all we would need is the camera to pan left a little bit because Capello is closer, but I mean, Thomas is in shot here. He is not gone.
No, he's not gone by any means. It's tough to play offense when you're playing defense, however, though. So if Capello can continue to pester the 78, that's going to give Stanford more chance to get away from these cars.
Gap opens up a little down the back straightaway that time, with Lang lingering around the back of Capello and looking for an opportunity to climb back into the top 3, down to 5 laps to go. Drivers hanging are all out. No conservation at this point.
No, it is green, green, green. These drivers are running, and you are a foot down as far as you can. You are sending it as deep you can into these corners. And Haley might have something for Thomas here with 4 to go. The 78's going to look to make a lunge. You know what? I will take away the taking off thing, because here comes the 78 into the frame.
Yeah, she's surging here. She is really putting some good laps together in the late race. It's down to a car length off the corner. The question is, does she have the time? Catching them's one thing. Getting around Stanford, a whole nother question with 3 to go.
Yeah, Stanford is going to have to put the foot in and just hope his race car stays underneath him, because the 78 is coming, and there's not a lot he can do other than just try to play defense 2 more times for the East Wenatchee driver.
You know, she might be able to close the gap, yet the only move might be a bump and run here at the very end, as it's a car length and a half through these corners, and you're going to have 4 more turns to decide the winner of the Tire Pro Summer Shootout as they come to the white flag right now.
Yeah, you're going to set the move up here. Haley's going to look to follow the 19, going to see if she can close up. She drifts up half a groove or so and is going to have the run. It'll be into 3 and 4. We'll see if the move comes.
Down the back straightaway and into the turn, the gap closes. She shoots the outside. Can she stick it? Cannot. And Stanford's going to escape 2 more laps, and that might be a completely different equation as Stanford gets the win. Constance 2, Capello 3, and let's talk to the top 3.
Dylan, you spend the year traveling the country with the Truck Series. An off weekend, you come here and race Evergreen.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I'm not racing, I'm racing, so love coming out here. I came out here in 2021, ran a Super out here, and I love this place. So I was kind of bummed they didn't run the pros on the 5/8s, but had a good time, learned a lot. This track's tricky to get around, so appreciate all the fans coming out, and want to thank Quick Response Garage Services, RBK Racing, Super Bin Wash, just everybody. Dean Kuhn does a badass job setting these things up, so can't say enough about him and all he does for me, so thank you guys.
The 3/8, it was sliced and diced out there. There was some rough racing tonight.
Yeah, it was all right. The 78 got into me a little bit, but she was a lot better than me, so I could fire off with those guys, but I couldn't run with them after 15, 20 laps, like just tire pressure gain, so, but had a lot of fun, learned some. Hopefully we come back, do it again.
All right, third place, Dylan Capello. Haley, those last 5-6 laps, you were tracking down Thomas Stanford. Talk about that charge.
Yeah, we got really lucky with that last caution. Early on in the race, we were pretty far back from Thomas and Nema. So that last yellow kind of saved us instead of having to drive all the way from like 5-10 car lengths back. But Thomas was really good all night. He's an awesome driver. I respect both him and Nema. I'm super proud of my crew for getting the car together. It was a bare chassis 2 weeks ago, and they busted their butts to get the car raceable and nearly perfect on the track. So I don't think I would have changed anything. I'm super proud of my team, and I'm glad we could bring it to the podium tonight.
This was a tough field of cars out there, one of the toughest fields you guys have had in the 3/8 in a long time. Talk about the racing out there. It was crazy tonight.
Yeah, it was awesome. I love to see out-of-towners coming to our local track. I live 7 minutes away, so it's super awesome getting to race with different people, especially the competition level that was out there tonight.
Who do you want to thank?
Huge thank you to my dad. I cannot thank him enough. I would not be here if it wasn't for him. I'm a pretty lucky girl. I have an amazing crew. Huge thank you to Central Welding, Mike Buell, who's out here tonight, Deanne Ying for constantly giving us new graphics every time we wreck the car. And there's a lot more. I just can't think of it on top of my head.
All right, second place, Haley Constance. Thomas, once again, you're in victory lane here at Summer Showdown weekend in a Pro Late model, this time on the 3/8.
Yeah, I was, everyone asked me all weekend, what do you think about running on the 3/8? And honestly, I was pretty excited. People forget I ran mini stocks here for years and then ran my rookie season a late model here on the 3/8. And it was just, every time we come back and run the 3/8, it feels like coming home. So I had a blast. I mean, this place is really, really difficult. People talk about the 5/8 and how it's a driver's track, and the 3/8 is just as hard, if not harder. So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed getting to race with Nema. Again, I ran my rookie season of late models here, and he really taught me a lot just running side by side with him. And so I know we weren't side by side tonight, but trust me, we were battling. I was giving it everything there. Thought we were going to go green the whole way. And then Haley came on strong at the end. I was getting really nervous. Thanks to her for running me so clean. Not a lot of people would have, refrained from laying the bumper there in 3 and 4 for a win at the Summer Showdown. So that shows her character, and I really appreciated that. But just happy to be back. Happy to be back in Victory Lane. The Summer Showdown's been good to us. Thanks to all our sponsors, Ackerman Construction, D.A. Davidson Wealth Management, Pro Time Sports, Frost Livestock, Elevate Racing Media, D.A. Davidson Wealth Management, I think I already said them, Gregory Excavation, Western Ranch. I got a lot of sponsors, and I'm very thankful for every single one of them. So just thanks to everyone that got me here.
You get the big trophy, you get the flag, but you also get the $5,000 Tire Pros big check. Put your name on it. Thomas Stanford, once again, the Pro Late Model winner at the Summer Showdown.
Thank you, Jeremy, and congratulations to all of our winners and podium drivers tonight, and thank you for coming out. We look forward.
Thomas Stanford putting his name on the big check. The money's cool, but the big check lives forever.
I love a ridiculously large check.
That was really cool. Well, that's the first of 2 ridiculously large checks that we're giving out over these 2 weeks here of the Summer Shootout and Summer Showdown here on Home Track Heroes, because next week it is the super late models, the Tire Pros Summer Showdown 200 as well. Pro 4 Trucks, Legends, and Mini Stocks. What an incredible show that should be.
Yeah, definitely you're going to want to mark the calendars, set the DVR, and make sure sure you have a nice crisp Busch Light and maybe a bag of popcorn for that one. You won't want to miss it.
All right, so be here next Sunday night on Seattle 11. Again, super late model 200 is coming up for the Summer Showdown. Next time you can come to Evergreen Speedway Formula Drift, Saturday, August 9th. That is the pros. That is going to be an absolutely cool show. You won't want to miss it. And we've got more late model action coming up in person. The Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Models go 125 times around for the Central Welding 125, August 16th. For Ben Iman, DT on TV on the interviews, the Hobbs family for doing the editing, I'm Caleb Hart. We'll see you next Sunday night here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.